What's up everybody, it's Dr. Winters, and yes, the facial hair is gone, but it is a hurricane outside. There are winds blowing like 1,000 miles an hour outside, it's wild. But you know what, that's not gonna stop me from educating you guys on all the crazy videos you guys tag me in every single week. And trust me, this week, there's some pretty crazy ones. Also, please, dear God, if you don't know, I had this bracket on my teeth that I've been whitening, and we're gonna take it off and see if there's a yellow square underneath, but I can't do it until we hit 10 million followers, so please hit that subscribe button, please. All right, well, we got people with braces when they stop smiling. Well, it looks like a good smile to me. Oh my gosh, dude, that's so hilarious. So yes, we've all been through this. And if you guys don't know, it's because of the rubber band hooks. So you have the braces, the bracket itself, the wires, and then you have these little rubber band hooks that stick right here to be able to pull your teeth certain different ways. And those hooks are what's going up and getting caught on those lips as you try and close it down. Now, in fact, I've had patients that like had this as like a stem that they did, and they would do this all the time. And then they would get these giant like blisters and cuts in here. So I highly don't recommend doing this often all the time if you can. But yes, maybe this is why people don't smile so much when they have braces. I don't know. It's kind of weird because they don't want to smile before braces, so they get braces to smile, but they don't smile when they have braces. But then that leads them to smiling forever with a nice smile. And these comments are crazy. It's called eye up. I just do eye up before stop smiling. I looked it up. It's basically the motion eye up. You know that move, and you do it before you start smiling, so this doesn't happen to you. And then Kiara says, I haven't had braces in almost 10 years, and I can still feel this video. And me too, I'm having like phantom eye up pain, I guess is what it's called. But I don't know, if you've got braces, do you go through this, or do you even remember doing this? Because I definitely do.
Let me show you how to make a natural toothpaste that will whiten your teeth like crazy.
All right, he's making his own little toothpaste. Here we go. 5 simple ingredients.
Bentonite clay, food grade hydrogen peroxide, which I'm going to dilute to 3%.
Okay, good. I was going to say.
Peppermint essential oil. Super easy.
Okay, let's go through this. So the first thing he's putting in there is 3 heaping spoonfuls of coconut oil. So basically all this is going to do is just be a base for it. I don't hate it. I'm not a fan of the coconut oil side of things, but it's not going to harm you. So I think it's a good base if you're making an at-home toothpaste for sure.
Coconut oil has antimicrobial properties.
It does have antimicrobial properties. I do like the baking soda. Baking soda is really good, and it's actually not abrasive to your teeth.
Bentonite clay.
The bentonite clay he's putting in there. Now, one thing I would say here is he is using a metal spoon in bentonite clay, and if I remember right, the metal actually reacts with the bentonite clay and like pulls heavy metals or something like that, and maybe puts it in it. So it's like not good. You want to use like a wooden spoon with bentonite clay if possible. But once again, it is what it is. It's not a bad toothpaste so far. Okay, so it can potentially pull some heavy metals or toxins. Okay.
The concern here is that if you mix this
Oh,
up with
see,
a metal
like
spoon,
so he's talking about the metal spoon.
pull trace metals out of the metal spoon, so I'm going to mix it with a wood spoon.
Okay, so he's mixing with a wood spoon, but then he got the metal spoon. I don't know. Okay, so now he's doing the peroxide. Now, I think this is really important to note that it was concentrated at a 35%. And you do not want to have that in there. That's way too high, okay? So he diluted it down to 3% food safe hydrogen peroxide. So basically that's gonna be a whitening agent for him. So let's see what
of hydrogen peroxide to around 3%.
Yeah, exactly, 3%. And then he adds some peppermint drops and the essential oils for the minty. And okay, here it is. It's not bad, okay? For just a natural toothpaste that you can do at home, I don't hate it. The only problem is there's no protection here. Now, it's going to be getting the bacterial biofilm off your teeth, which is really the most important part. That's why I don't really care. But that being said, do have some type of protection against your tooth, which basically means one of the 2 camps, which is fluoride to strengthen the tooth, or nano-hydroxyapatite to rebuild the tooth. Having one of those type of protections is gonna be, paramount in making sure that you're okay in your mouth. So would I personally use this? No, because I would want nano-hydroxyapatite, I would want some xylitol, and obviously with our Zero Pro, we have the biofuse, the nanolipid emulsion that literally directly targets and attacks the bacteria that cause the disease of, cavities and gum disease. So, I mean, you're not gonna get any of those in a homemade toothpaste, but if you need something in a pinch and you just absolutely do not wanna go to the store and you wanna make it yourself, I don't hate this. It's not terrible. I give it a 6 out of 10. Using whitening strips on my brain. Wait, what? Wait, what? Let me pause on. Oh no. Okay, first off, if a lot of you guys don't know, I have a very long history with whitening and braces. You see, because 3 years ago, I put this racket on my teeth. Yes, almost 3 years ago. And I tried everything from whitening with whitening strips. I tried the gels. I tried making custom ones and cutting around it and like doing it. And it is almost impossible to whiten with braces on. Except for I finally found a way to make a custom retainer to kind of build up a little dome on there that I can put it on and specifically only whiten that area. So for 3 years, it's been sitting on there having stain buildup. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna whiten around that tooth, and then eventually it's gonna cause that tooth to become white. And then when I take off this bracket, underneath will be a yellow square, potentially. Or there is a potential that the whitening can go up underneath the braces and whiten underneath it, meaning it would be possible to whiten with braces on. We just don't know yet. So for those who've been following the saga for the past 3 years, yes, we finally developed a way to whiten, and yes, we will get it off there. But I'm not gonna lie, there is a stipulation. To get this off, I need to reach 10 million subscribers on that, application you're probably watching this on, or the one that does the long form videos, if you know what I'm talking about. And we're currently at 8.5 million followers on there. So I'm gonna need to hit 10 million before I take this thing off. And I think it's really the least you guys can do. You know how crazy it is to keep a bracket on your teeth for 3 years for a whitening experiment? You know how many times my wife tells me I look crazy? So yeah, can you whiten with braces or not? Well, we're gonna find out really soon. And it looks like Blondie here wants to know, says, oh girl, when those come off, you're gonna have bracket marks forever. Those yellow squares, I don't know. What do you guys think? Will there be a yellow square underneath my tooth or not? I guess we'll find out together. Oh, excuse me. Okay, first off, we need to have a little talk here. First, who is this man? This man just pulled his tooth live out of his mouth with no anesthetic and didn't even flinch. I'll tell you one thing, I am not gonna mess with this guy. But seriously, that's crazy. Obviously, I don't recommend this. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. You could literally even have a heart attack if you have like heart pressure issues and you're pulling on stuff and causing stress to yourself like this. Sweet bejeebus, that must have hurt so bad. Why would you do this? Let's see if we can find some context in the comments. Stacy said, tooth pain will make you give 0 blank. Obviously, as you know, we blurred that out. And that is so true. There is one thing that I know, and that is tooth pain will make a grown man cry, because it is the worst thing of everything, because it's persistent and it can't go away. There's nothing you can do about it. Well, unless you want to just rip the tooth out of your face like this man did. Kevin said, that dry socket is going to be brutal. Yeah, if you guys don't know, when you pull a big molar like this, it leaves a giant hole and you're not supposed to smoke or suck on straws or eat spicy foods because it can cause dry socket, which is almost more painful than the tooth removal. But I'm sure he doesn't care about that. And then what said, the way I see it, he just saved himself 2,500 bucks. And you know what? He did probably save himself some money, except for an extraction doesn't cost that much. You can get an extraction for like 150 bucks. All I know is I'm scared of this man, and I would not be messing with him or get into a fight with him ever anytime soon. Which is easy for me because I'm a lover, not a fighter. All right, we got a root canal. Oh my gosh, is that a larva worm coming out of there? Oh, that is great. I love seeing that. That's cool. That one came out in one whole piece. Okay, so what we're looking at here is obviously a root canal. What a root canal is basically, you're going inside the pulpal chamber of the tooth and you're going down into the root. And what is in there? Well, your blood supply is in the pulp, yes, but your nerve is also in the root. And a lot of people don't understand this, but your nerve is like a thing that's inside living tissue inside of your mouth. Now it can get necrotic and turn black and get infected and all that type of stuff, but this is what, you're pulling out basically the nerve of the tooth. It's like a little worm that lives inside your mouth, but that's the actual nerve that they're removing in the root canal, because you need to clean out the pulp, you need to clean out the nerve, and then you just basically clean out the entire inside of the tooth. From there, they'll fill it up and put a crown and everything on it and get it all done. But that's pretty crazy. Mr. E says, bro, you're working on my nerves right now. It is interesting because we say we work on teeth, but at some point we do work on nerves. Yes, and a lot of people don't realize that just like you have nerves in your hands and your fingers and your toes, you've also got nerves in your teeth. And the Ricardo with the line. Yes, even when you're a dentist doing a root canal and you're doing some of this stuff, we're doing that under our masks. Like we got our mask on, we're just like, oh my gosh. It can get pretty gnarly for us too. Everybody always thinks about the patient. What about the doctor, okay? You've never seen what I've seen, trust me. These eyes have seen a lot. But you know what else is crazy is the fact that you haven't got me to 10 million followers off, so I can get this dang racket off my mouth. So you know what to do. I'll see you next week. Keep tagging me in the crazy videos. I really like them. All we're doing. Next time. See you. Bye.